and we were driving down Oxford Road towards Oxford and looking around, and we said, this is really nice. We should probably retire here, you know? And then we did. I mean, we had a place here for about 8 years, and we took about 3 or 4 years to refurbish. My parents and I didn't always agree on the means, but we knew the end was justice, and we had responsibility to do that. So when I came down here, what he always said is you move to a community and you do something for that community, wherever it is. And you read the local paper. So I got one of those flyers from the, I don't know, it's a Midshore Foundation or the whatever, and they had a list of organizations, and BAM was on that. And I said, well, this is important. And I saw there's a need there. I mean, we spoke a moment ago about the middle class, and that is that with the wealth inequality in America now, the middle class is getting squeezed. And part of it can be fixed, I think, by education and using that as a wedge to locations of opportunity. One of the things I'm trying to do with BAM is, the first thing is let's get these kids going. The second is we're in a situation in the United States now where there's a lot of generational wealth that's about to get passed down, and what I want is BAM to be a bit of a blueprint for here's, you have resources, you have access to power. You can take a small thing and make it good and big. And hopefully at the end of this, we'll have a bit of a blueprint so that other people can say, okay, I can step in and do this. And you don't need to stand around and wait for the government to do it. You can do it yourself. And there were other people, Jim Clark, Bill Hunter, Dickie First, who helped us along. And they were really experienced men. They had all had real successful careers, and so they sort of helped us grow to a bigger vision, that it doesn't have to be just, we don't have to get by on a shoestring. So we operated as an after-school elementary program for boys, and we found that it worked, and when they left us after 5th grade, they were all doing well. I mean, within a range. They were all doing well. They were all grade appropriate. But middle school is a difficult thing. And we found that we were not just losing touch with them, but some of them were sort of fading, and so the idea was we need to expand to that. And we set up a sort of an after-school program for middle school, which is in operation. But the other thing we thought was, what will get them, what will attract them so that we can see them every day and say, what do you need? What do you have problems? Maybe we can point you in the right direction. So that's why we built the athletic center first. We opened right before COVID, and opened in December, and by mid-February we had over 700 members. It was heartbreaking when we had to close, but the whole idea was the gym. I mean, we have you've been in it, I'm sure. We have a first-class basketball floor. The idea was this is the portal. You come in here, and now we got you. And so now we're building the academic center to service their academic needs right next door, and the community in general. So we see that as middle school kids have more options, so that it's not like their parents can drop them off, but if they choose to be there to play ball, to hang with their friends, it's just right across the street. We'll be putting in tutoring programs, and we'll have space for them to do schoolwork, and there'll be a library. And then in the evenings, the parents can come in. We're going to be working with Chesapeake College to provide continuing education. Their kids can go over to the athletic center and be taken care of and be safe, and while the parents take classes. So right now, it's going to cost a little over $5 million to build. We already have pledges for about 70% of that. And so we're starting our public phase of the campaign in June. We're renovating the Mount Pisgah Church. This is a separate project from BAM. It's Polaris Village Ministries. We bought the old Mount Pisgah Church, and we're renovating it. In the short term, it's going to house a sort of daycare pre-K program on the second floor. The first floor is going to have a full-scale kitchen, and we're going to start serving food. And the idea is to have a place where if you need a meal, there'll be one. But I'm not the heavy lifter here. I mean, I'm not the heavy lifter. I mean, the Derek and Dina Daly and Deborah Short and all our tutors at BAM, they do the heavy lifting. I mean, I always talk to Derek. I say, you know, you have a community that's capital poor, you know, and I'm capital rich, but I'm just me. I don't really, I don't come with a community. So we can overlay those, and it can happen.